So yeah, as I was saying, you know, this is worthless for me to blur inside. All right, what I want to is make that edge not so sharp, so I want to blur outside. So I'm just gonna select inverse it, and now I can't blur anymore inside. I can blur just outside. I'm not gonna put 100 on strength, like 50. I never go 100 on brushes, you guys. It's a bad habit. It'll give you a very strong changes that are not very organic. All right. So and then I'll just feather it up like that. And like I said, I went for a lot of pixels, so you can see it on the screen. Usually, I'd never go past 1 or 2 pixels is the most, frankly. But I do that on everything that I do CGI. All right, and I will do the purple one and not. And I'm going to increase the size of my brush. It doesn't really matter because there's nothing. I can go a lot faster like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to touch anything inside, so it's that's why it works very well. It's real quick as a technique in reality if you know the pipeline. In Photoshop, it's all about finding pipeline that works real good and quick, but that gives really good results. Okay, and most of the time, again, it's you gotta want to use your own touch basically after a while, and not the tools from Photoshop so much. All right, and now I can get them out like that. Okay, you guys, and I would make them slightly bigger after that. Actually, just deselect right here. You see now you have, the one I didn't do and the one I did. All right, like that one, for example, is blurring much better, and looks much more like it's really part of it than that one that looked like it's cut, basically, because I didn't do that one. You know what I'm saying? So that's a very important trickery in reality, you guys, to make it look stuff real. Okay, it's not just about putting pictures together as a patch and cutting them out and just sticking them up. All right, and any kids can do that. All right, it's really easy. You just learn the tools and just stick them out on layers. All right, now the real pro is gonna make it look like it was there. It was shot like that. All right, to do that, you have to reproduce the same visual effect that you have in real life. Or people will pick it up right away. Okay, let's get to the next move. All right, let's get to another type of selection, pen selection, basically path selection. Okay, you select the pen, you add points just like you do in Photoshop. You can rotate them like that, and you get Bezier handle. You close that up, all right, and you make a path of it. See, you have your path right there. Okay, that can be after that selected right there by the technique, CTRL, clicking right here. Okay, so that works well. My problem with that is it is a Bezier curve. Let me get rid of that path, and it's basically extremely rounded and smooth, which is not the case of what you're going to deal with, because what you're dealing with are pixels. And let's go to the pixel. All right, this is it. You're dealing with squares. All right, basically in computers it is square. On the computer screen it is always square. On a TV it is not. And on the movie neither. Okay, and it depends if it's wide format or not. One of the good things to see, I'll show you. That a few people know about that one, but I've used that for years. There is a new function a couple of years ago into the view right here that's called the pixel aspect ratio, and you can see we're in computer square. Now you're talking TV right here, and TNC, that's the US, PAL, that's Europe. Okay, and that's regular TV D1. You see how it changes people's face? All right, look at it just a second. And then after that, same thing, you have others like that. All right, right here, like NTNC widescreen. See now it looks like different. Okay, and the computer, let's go back to the computer, and the computer is right here. Right, hold on a second. Okay. Back to that. Okay, and that's very important to understand. So that tool works, don't get me wrong, but it's not one of the tools I like to best to use in reality. And it's right here, and you can make a selection of it, and it gives you, you'll see, a really good rounded shape because you can adjust them. But because of its rounded shape, that is so much smoother than Photoshop, you lose, than the bitmap, I mean, in the pixels, you lose a little bit of the texture of the object itself, and you start rounding it up its shape.